Welcome back, everybody. We had a very exciting matchup number 1 earlier today. We're about to jump into an even more exciting match number 2. My name is Artie, joined here by Rio. And Rio, we've seen some fantastic finals action today already.
Yep. I really hope that these next teams bring it back and we see even more.
Absolutely. So we've got Divine Dead up against Team No Idea coming in. If you guys in the chat were watching last week, you would recognize No Idea as the team Mr. Derp coming in from all the way across the world. We've got some members in NA, got some members in EU. Today we do have a sub instead of Mr. Derp himself. We are going to be seeing NetX come in for the team No Idea. This is going to be pretty shocking if you are Divine Dead, because these are now an insanely stacked team of individuals.
Yep, we'll have to see what they're playing. I believe that they're doing the standard setup, light, medium, heavy for both teams, right?
I'm not sure about Divine Dead, but I do know that on for Team No Idea, we are usually keen to see Vrake on the light. Typically, what happens is Mr. Derp is going to be pushing the heavy, but now that Mr. Derp isn't here, I think that means that NetX is going to jump on the heavy. Look at our map picks and bans, and it looks like the first ban on Seoul, good idea. And looking like No Idea banning Monaco, well, they might have learned from last week a little bit.
Yeah, interesting to see Vegas picked. It's really not my favorite map because there's just so much open space, and it makes it just kind of a really hard to get past anywhere without getting just mowed down. So this Horizon will be fun. Las Vegas will also be fun, and all the way to Skyway Stadium if we need to bring it there.
I think Skyway Stadium is the perfect decider map, and I think every single team should be doing this with Skyway as the decider map, because I think it is the most fair of them all. So pick one of the maps that you feel like you have an advantage of or you can take advantage of, but keep the decider as Skyway Stadium. But I'm very, very excited for Sis Horizon. It's my favorite map that has ever been released in a video game ever. And it sounds like the matches are starting, so let's go ahead and jump right into things. We will only have the POV of the Divine Dead for now, but that'll be okay. We're going to see from their perspective what it's like to deal with some of the top leaderboard legends on Team No Idea.
Yep, so we have medium, medium, heavy. So no light in play on Divine
Interesting
Dead.
note, though, is that Harbinger is not playing healer. He's on the Dematerializer.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that Dematerializer, I said this last week, it opens up that same gameplay potential that a light does, but without glitch grenades, without having, the sort of ability to go out and in with your invisibility. But given the glitch grenade situations, this might actually be the move. The key is going to see what the deal is with No Idea's light player. Are they going to be using the glitch grenades, even though there could be a potential for issue? We're starting out now, Divine Dead. Harbinger, unfortunately, missing the proc on the vault right at the beginning. Not a great start.
To see the Dematerializer in play. They definitely helped him get down to the vault almost immediately.
Still haven't seen an entry just yet from Team No Idea, which means that they're set up somewhere waiting for this cross to come through. And there, as the audio comes in, my ears are alive. Watching now as Harbinger tries to figure out where No Idea is watching them from. They can feel that they're being watched. The government drones in the sky. But there it is. No Idea opens things up here with a little bit of damage on a Harbinger, which is immediately dealt right back. See those barricades coming up, the jump pads put into use. Harbinger trying to find the angles. I do love seeing the Dematerializer being used like this. And there we go, insane bit of damage going through on the NetX. And it's not looking good for Divine Dead, though. They are able to clean it up. Harbinger able to stay alive for just a little bit longer, but there it is. That was a dream. I believe that is Rampage doing some work. Harbinger goes offline.
Oh, no.
Oh no, folks, we're gonna try to get this stream running back up for you here in just a second, but as of right now with that stream offline, we currently have no POVs from any of the teams, so bear with us for just a moment. Let's at least talk about the first fight though, Rio. So again, you got the Dematerializer, which is that skirmisher, right? You open up your own angles. All right, Harbinger's back. We're good.
Perfect.
But
Yeah, we
but
saw it used constantly.
Oh, it's what you use constantly.
No,
You're a
no, no.
DMAT
Saying it.
boy.
No, they were using it constantly. I don't use dematerializer. I definitely go for heal. I think it's just way more useful. But after watching this, I might have to change up my strategy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they didn't win that fight, but they were very close to doing so. It was one res away, I think, from being able to win that 1v1. But unfortunately, though, for him, the kill ended up going in for no idea. They end up getting one more res. Harbinger just couldn't deal with two people on half HP. So they're trying to figure out their angle of entry right now. And it looks like some insane opening damage will come through, but Harbinger's team is going to be the ones to lose one versus Ayaya goes down. Vrake and NetX just dealing some insane damage. NetX does get taken out, but it's a 1v3 situation. Only so much that you can do. And as Vrake comes through and finishes off Midnight Werewolf, another team fight going the way of No Idea. NetX, Vrake, and Rampage, they're just such good players. These people grind this game every single day. I know that Divine Dead, though, they do too. Harbinger, Midnight Werewolf, and Ayaya, they are very well known in the European scene.
Yeah, Divine Dead just hasn't had any luck just pushing on to the point yet or into the enemy team. They No Idea just really has a good setup and a good defense. So it's quite interesting to see if they'll be able to break that in this match or in the next one.
Look at that, trying to find his opening, and then, oh, that was
Ooh.
almost such a good play because he sent one of the members of No Idea down into the other floor without going down himself. That was almost like the perfect Looney Tunes-esque play, but unfortunately, there were still two members of No Idea on that floor putting bullets into the back of his head. Only so much that you could do there.
Yeah, and I think that when he did the materializer, he ran into a beam, so he was trying to hop down there as well to get the guy that fell through, and just kind of got stuck on the beam. But I don't think that they'll have time to get the cash, and they didn't, and they're running to Vault 2.
As it goes, unfortunately. Once we're jumping in, though, to this next vault, the big question is, will we be able to see Divine Dead get a little bit of control? Because right now, Divine Dead has not won a single one of their team fights, but it has been close.
Yes, absolutely. Gone down to 1v1s and everything, and just they can't seem to get the foothold that they need. This looks promising. They've got two teammates down. And they're going for the last one. They're kind of guarding the teammates so that they're going to have to push in. And we see that they have the vault cash box and just running away with it. Probably going to get started on vault on cash out C.
And there it is. Cash out is going to be started here, and it is going to be in the favor of Divine Dead. Now, we're going to be seeing how No Idea starts us off. Vrake opens up with a glitch grenade, but it's not going to connect where it needs to. That means Harbinger can just throw an APS right down. We see that No Idea is currently trying to find their perfect entry. Glitch grenade arced perfectly over that. Look at that, detonating just over the top. Absolutely insane. But the thing is that they're going to use that to buy a little bit of time as they push in underneath. Now, No Idea trying to make that space here, not get spotted out by Divine Dead. Question is, though, when? Because time is ticking down, Rio, and as we can see, No Idea has no idea how to make this entry work. Divine Dead, they're anchored up to the top here. This is kind of the same thing that we saw in the last game between the other teams. Divine Dead is playing very similar to how Frog 3 was playing, but No Idea, they're able to find an entry. Look at that, NetX comes right through, but Ayaya does pick up the light through Vrake, and that is going to be 2 kills on both teams. Drops down to a 1v1 situation, but as Ayaya does get the res, question now is it a 2v2 forever?
Yeah, they just can't seem to get in. Dang.
But Vrake still alive, going to be able to finish off Ayaya. It was just going to be The question of who's going to push, who's going to try to res their third teammate. And Divine Dead, they tried to go for the res. That is exactly what No Idea wanted. Vrake was set up in the perfect spot to skirmish the moment that they needed to. And that is going to be the first map going to No
Yeah.
Idea, I think. I do not think that there is a world where Divine Dead can make this, but
We
there
might see one more
technically
fight,
is
but
time.
this is it. Yeah. Oh, they're bringing it down. Do they have
There-
time?
There technically is time. The steal didn't
Nope.
come through, though, and that's going to be No Idea. Wow, that was so close, though.
Yeah. If they
Oh
would have
my
gotten over it
gosh.
just a few more seconds earlier, they definitely would have taken it. That dematerializer really came in handy, but they just could not hold it.
Absolutely, and it's really Ayaya holding Team Divine Dead in place. I mean, that being said, you know, the heavy on Divine Dead did tons and tons of damage, but they weren't able to follow up on it, except for at the very end there, when they finally had a foothold, they finally had a strong point where Team No Idea just wasn't able to get in as fast as they would like to, but at the end of the day, they did get in. And it's all about managing your expectations and managing your resources. Your teammates' lives are resources at the end of the day. And when it came down to that final 2v2, it's the question of, all right, do we push the team while it's an even fight, or do we try to res our teammate? And Divine Dead tried to go for the res, and that is exactly when No Idea strikes. Vrake already had their heads in the crosshairs, and even though they did lose one player, all that matters is that there's one person left standing at the end of the fight. That's how No Idea came out with that final cash out. So incredible place to start off, and that was Divine Dead's pick on Sis Horizon. We go into the next map. We're on No Idea's home ground.
Yeah, we'll have to see a lot of changes in strategy from Divine Dead because they just couldn't pull it out. They were just constantly getting into fights, but just not really securing the kills that they needed. It'll be interesting to see what they change or if they're able to change in this next match.
Absolutely. And we will get to that next map right after this break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're about to jump into match numero dos here on map numero dos. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen because we saw Divine Dead put up a fight. They were 95% of the way there. It's that last 5%, Rio. The last 5% is all that counts.
Yep. And what's this next map that they're playing on?
Well, if we could pull up the map picks and bans here really quickly, we can see sort of the story and the thought process here. So Soul
Vegas.
was banned by Divine Dead, Monica was banned by No Idea, and Divine Dead, they picked Sis Horizon. They did not pick up the win on Sis Horizon. Now it's No Idea coming in with one map to their name, coming into the map that they wanted to play. Remember, Las Vegas, this is a perfect map to play light, and if I do say so myself, this is Vrake's playing ground.
Yeah, it's really a cool map too. There's a lot of just movement and a lot of like strategy that you can employ once you get the cash out started. It'll be really interesting to see how they're able to use a dematerializer instead of healing, and see if they change that. I'm curious if they bring that back or if there's any change to their strategy in this next game.
Yeah, and I really think the Divine Dead is they're sort of suffering from the idea that they can't play double heavy. A lot of teams,
Yep.
they are in they're so used to playing double heavy because in ranked that's what you do. That is the meta.
Hmm.
That's the number one way to win, is to just play the class that deals more damage and has more health.
Yep.
And so when you're in a tournament format that bans that double heavy playstyle, you're forced into a slightly different way of thinking. And so that's what it is with Divine Dead. They're evenly matched up against Team No Idea, but they just can't execute on it the same way that they would in ranked, in the same way they've probably been practicing for weeks.
Yeah, but it's good. We really don't see the diversity in the skill, because you take away that heavy, and it forces them to do something completely different, and show that they can, pivot when they need to.
Exactly. And, again, it kind of goes into that Frog 3 play style, the EU meta of just hunkering down in one spot. We are actually seeing this with Divine
There it
Dead
is.
switching off of the DMAT into the double heals. And I would actually say that I don't think that this is a good idea. I think that Divine Dead, their issue was not that they couldn't sustain their heavy. Their issue was timing. And that
Yeah,
timing was being made up for by the dematerializer. Now they don't have that. So they will have to rely on just keeping the heavy alive. But remember, if you're healing, that's one less player that's doing damage.
absolutely. And really, the last match there were a lot of good plays with the dematerializer that I don't think we're going to see now. Just getting that openings that they needed. So double healing might be the advantage, but yeah, I'm not so sure. Just like you.
The idea as well is that, they also are lacking now a skirmisher, whereas No Idea, they still have Rake on the light, and that is still going to be some skirmish potential. Skirmish
Ooh.
potential that is being deleted immediately in a good showing from Divine Dead as things open up pretty strongly for them. A full team
Wow.
wipe without losing a single member. Divine Dead already making us put our words in our mouth here as they get the first team fight secured, picking up those mines, and they're going to go ahead and take Vault 1 all the way over to cash out A, and they should be able to get there in time before No Idea is respawned.
Yeah, and the good thing too is if they get the vault started right after they respawn, the enemy team will respawn further away, and so it just gives them more time to let that clock run down, and let them get set up wherever they need to be.
Well, but set up is not what's going to happen here, as No Idea is already super quick. And look at that. They're going to be starting the steal off immediately. But no, instead of going for the steal, they need to
Wow.
secure their position first. Divine Dead is going to push them. And No Idea, they definitely are privy to this ideology. No Idea now trying to bake themselves into the left side there, as you can see just underneath Harbinger now. Question is, where will the jump pad come from? And there it is. Damage output is insane. So insane
Oh
that the
no.
stream can't even handle it. No audio was one thing, but now also no video. The team push was so intense
Mm,
from Team NetX that they just simply, like, the stream just couldn't handle it. That's
yeah, late.
actually insane. So looks like Harbinger crashed, and we had a little bit of a disconnect. We are going to restart, however, given the fact that nobody had actually put anything in. I
Perfect.
think that when we're in this situation, that we should be able to get them into parlay a little bit, start the cash out the way it was. But if it
Yep.
is a full restart, that could at least give Team No Idea a little bit of a better idea of what to expect for that first team fight.
Yeah, really interesting to see the restart. I mean, this is the downside to the private matches. They're not always perfect, but at least we have some workarounds and some ways to deal with it if it does happen.
Exactly. But it is one of those things with PCs, and unfortunately sometimes PCs do crash, especially when you're streaming a game such as the finals, which is so CPU heavy. A
Yeah,
lot of people aren't used to playing CPU heavy titles, and when you're streaming, yeah, sure, it is usually you're on your GPU where that encoding is happening, so that your all of the stuff from the actual encoding portion of the stream is handled on your graphics card. But as soon as you add things like alerts alerts as soon as you add things like camera preview or anything like that, it does put some strain on your CPU. Discord as well, very CPU heavy. So once you have all these things that are running, when a team like No Idea pushes you, that just could be too much for your CPU to handle.
Yep. And honestly, the really impressive part about the finals is that so much is done on the server side. It's supposed to be like the real technical achievement from the server that they're able to handle and run everything so non-locally on your PC. It's how they are able to do the damage and the explosions, and really what makes the finals unique.
Exactly. Like the fact that if you blow up a wall and some of that rubble goes on one side or the other, that is synced across all players. A very small thing that comes in really handy for me, especially when I'm throwing barrels from the top of the Monaco church and just trying to stack up as many fire barrels as I can to throw on people when you
Yep.
have that giant barren wasteland. So much fun. I love doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are still working on getting the matches up.
Yeah. Been through a whole lot, but we overcome. Enemies in our face, but we ain't gon' run. Never drift off course, always stay on mission. Won't slow us down, cause we way too driven. Yeah, we put in these 10,000 hours. You won't stop us, cause we got the power. Whole world is watching, and I hope they ready. From here on out, we are legendary. You can kick me round, but I won't stay down. I run this town, ain't backing down. We going the rounds. Yeah, the winds will blow, but these roots too deep. I'm on my feet, the underdog, and I won't be beat. Turn the lights up now, welcome to the show. I ain't never gonna stop, this is all I know. My eyes on the prize, until I die. I'm gonna rise, level up to the skies. Yeah, we here now, we were chosen. All the pain brought us to this moment. Watch
Alrighty, folks, we're jumping right into it. We are getting right back into the action. I think that we will get this this view fixed just a little bit here, but from the looks of it, we are resetting directly from the beginning. So no. We're not giving anybody a quick in just yet. It is just going to be a full reset for this match to make up for the a little bit of a crash we had from Harbinger.
That's good. It gives both teams a chance to restart. But it does look like we have the first cash out starting from No Idea. Yeah, we see Divine Dead sitting set up. They're really high up. They're going to use that red barrel to break through the roof and to get a cash out. I believe it says B.
Yep, here we are on Cash Out B, and this is going to be a pretty difficult one to get into. And this time, it's No Idea that has it started off and has a quick upper hand. We are going to be seeing as No Idea takes out Ayaya and Harbinger. Just one singular heavy on the side of Divine Dead that's still alive. Midnight Werewolf, as shield is only going to keep you alive for a little bit longer. Might be better at that point to just drop the shield and let your team respawn a little bit faster. And this is actually one of those cases where that might have made a big impact, because those 5 extra seconds, well, in that time you could steal a cash out. The question is going to be here if Divine Dead can come into this team fight fast enough to be able to run away with it.
Yep, and we see them respawn, and they actually didn't spawn too far away, so they are going to have a nice chance to get up there and get on to the point. But will they be able to break through the defenses? We're just going to have to find out and see.
Yeah, will they be able to break out of the shackles that they're in, you could say. But the question is, will Ayaya and Harbinger be able to find a good opening, or will they just get picked off? They don't have anyone dedicated on the heals at the moment yet. They both are running healer, but nobody is ready to support Midnight Werewolf at the moment. We see No Idea. They almost get caught out here, but look at that, the gateway. What a play. They bait Divine Dead into thinking that No Idea is holding off to the side here, but then suddenly a gateway is opened up, and they're now defending from the other side. There's no time for Divine Dead to get the steal, so that's No Idea's cash out. What an insane big brain play.
Absolutely. And yeah, they were able to get... Oh. We've lost stream. There we go.
And we're back, and it looks a little bit brighter. Oh. I had to open my mouth, didn't I?
Yep. That's okay. Wow, that mine did not explode the floor. That's shocking.
It's one of those things that, you know, every patch some things break. Sometimes
Just
it's a
final
glitch
things.
grenade. Sometimes it's you know, the fact that a mine just isn't dealing explosive value damage. But it is what it is.
I'm glad that they patched the where you could destroy mines in spectator mode.
Oh, I forgot about that. Also,
Yeah.
the riot shield being invincible to mines. Love seeing stuff like that just get through an entire season without being noticed. Now, we're going to be starting off with Divine Dead being in control of the vault, and this is pretty good. But look at that glitch
It's
grenade
tased.
from the heavens. No Idea. Starting off strong on this fight here. Ayaya going down to half HP. Harbinger need to get healed up. Midnight Werewolf not with his healers.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to coin back in. I don't think they're gonna go back for him. And it looks like No Idea now has the vault.
There it is. Yeah, No Idea now taking control of the vault. Just single glitch grenade, putting an absolute wrench in their plans, because the way that Harbinger IIL were working, they were going to jump pad up at the top, but when you're glitched, you can't throw a jump pad, which means you're just going to be stuck out in the middle of the street with No Idea having 3 crosshairs trained on you. Now as they get the cash out started, it comes down to this, because if No Idea wins this cash out, that's going to be 2-0. Divine Dead need to win this one if they want to stay in the running. And like we said before, they're 95% of the way there, but we just need that 5% to keep them in the running. Harbinger trying to find his entry here. Will he pad in or will he slide down? Midnight Werewolf going to be trying to aggress with the team here. He finally catches up. Now we'll see him go in first with the healers behind him, but not before the chip damage.
Yep, they're trying to poke holes in the roof just to find the enemy team and get any damage that they can do before they hop in there. They do have plenty of time to hop in there and get on the point, and we see one of them falls through the roof, hops
Ooh,
back
an
up.
over-aggressive defense by NetX is going to cost them his life. Vrake is going to be able to come back through with one, but Harbinger picks up another kill with the mine. Ayaya takes out Rage. Now it's just going to be a 3-on-1 situation. NetX, the only solo heavy up, but he does get killed here, gets wiped.
Nice.
That's going to be a cash out stolen here in the kitchen by Divine Dead. Question is going to be, does No Idea have time now?
I don't think that they do. It's going to be, they still have a few seconds before they respawn. It'll take them at least 5 to 10 seconds to get over there, and they're really just going to have to dive on it if they do anything. And it looks like Divine Dead setting up a good defense and a nice perimeter just to make sure that that doesn't happen. So hopefully this stays with them. And here we see them pushing on now, and are they able to get the first kill? They got Vrak down.
And there's NetX going down as well. That means the Divine Dead should have a good lock on this. Wow, Harbinger really locking in for that last one. 8 kills now on the leaderboard for him. That is going to bring us into Cash Out 3. Now remember, this was No Idea's team pick, and No Idea had no idea how to approach that situation there. If they didn't just send NetX straight up for that first team fight, they might have had a good entry because Divine Dead, they were struggling to find their opening. Then their opening just suddenly came into them in the form of a flying heavy man.
Yeah, and it's interesting that we're only seeing kind of the heavy shield. Nobody's using the charge and slam from the heavy, and obviously nobody uses the goo gun, at least not yet. But we are seeing No Idea kind of get pushed.
Oh yeah, Harbinger down to 2 HP. It's a good split here, but remember, this is just a vault fight here. Ayaya is going to be able to pick up the first by taking out That Was a Dream, but he gets traded out as well. Midnight Werewolf down to just 1 HP, goes down, and Harbinger unable to sustain after this. He will be down to 16 HP. The mines on his trail make it hard for No Idea to follow him in, but they don't need to follow him. They just need to take that cash and leave. I know if I had a box with $10,000 and nobody looking, I would be on the other side of town by now.
Absolutely. He is able to re-heal or get himself back up to normal health, and I believe that the other teammate either rezzed or used his coin, and now we see that Divine Dead is all back, and they're starting to go back into formation and push together. Ooh, they get the rack down, get the second kill. Yeah, this is some really good play that we just didn't see in the first game.
Yeah, this is what it looks like when your team finally is able to lock in. Divine Dead now actually knows how they need to act to stay competitive here. No Idea, though. They still have 1 player left standing, and remember, we are on a modified version of Quick Cash, so those coins and team respawns come through a little bit faster. So even though the team is wiped here, only going to be 10 seconds before they're back in the fight. More than enough time for 1 team fight. And now is going to be the decider for this map here for Las Vegas. We see Divine Dead trying to just maintain height here, but they're split up. Again, not necessarily pitting the heavy alongside a healer. This is a weakness that No Idea could find if they're able to get the opening in just the right time. We see now that they've all gathered back up to the top here, and now they are embedding the heavy with the double healers. So No Idea, they need to find a way to split them up. And by dropping the cash out, removing that height as a potential hazard for them might just do it. Cash out is dropped a little bit, but it's a little bit too clear and open still for the steal to come through easily. Steal is going to happen, but as gas and mines get placed on it, No Idea is forced to back off of it. They find an opening there, and they are going to be able to take out one, but no, it is Divine Dead that comes out on top. And No Idea, with just 1 player left standing, gonna go down, and that is going to be map 2 going for Divine Dead.
That was great. Honestly, unexpected. In the very beginning, it seemed like No Idea had just the amount of just holding it. They were able to really kind of get in there and just stop Divine Dead, but Divine Dead, to their, they were able to pull it back. So good for them.
Yeah, and I mean, this is exactly what we wanted to see, right, from Divine Dead, is to figure out how No Idea is playing and pick up the perfect counter to it. At first, I was very worried that since they weren't playing with that dematerializer, that they would end up losing the angles, because, to be honest, they're not sitting on that heal very often for the heavy anyways. But looks like they didn't need it. All they needed to do was figure out their communication, figure out their angles, and get in the right spots at the right time. And what's interesting to see about this is that map picks just do not matter, because No Idea, they won on the map that was not theirs. They just lost on the map that was. The things are heating up quickly here.
Yeah, and this is kind of the advantage of us not having a ton of maps, is that you are still able to play them all and kind of get good on nearly all of them. So maps and bans, I'm not sure is going to be the deciding factor, as we just saw. So final match will be interesting to see.
Exactly, especially on Skyway Stadium, where things get interesting for every team. Once we can see also Vrake truly activate on that map with his light, we're going to be ready in just a bit after this break.
Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Day we hustle, but the night we know that they ride or die. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Day we hustle, but the night we boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. OG boy. Day we hustle, but the night we OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Day we hustle, but the night we know that they ride or die. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Day we hustle, but the night we boys by my side.
Perfect.
All right, everybody, we're jumping right back into the action at Skyway Stadium, and not only that, it is my favorite format of Skyway Stadium: up, down, left, right. That means we're going to be seeing moving platforms, jump pads, and absolute hectic craziness on this map, as we see No Idea and Divine Dead battle it out for their right to fight.
Yeah, this one is a really great variation because it does force just different gameplay than you see in just the standard map. And it looks like Divine Dead has the first vault opening. They're setting up on top of the roof, getting the chip damage on the enemy team. But again, just kind of hunkering down. We have a pocket healer going on now. And they're all standing up behind the barricade.
This is how Divine Dead has changed up their format. After they swapped off the dematerializer and they had a little bit of a difficult time at the beginning fighting up with No Idea, they've finally learned exactly what they need to do, and that is full support for your heavy. And that's going to allow them to have just enough time to win a little bit of that first head battle, head on head, take Vault 1 all the way over to Cash Out B on a moving platform. Are they actually going to commit to the moving platform of the Breakout Esports Series? I'm so excited. Masters Series, very first moving platform fight. Let's go.
I think that these are the hardest to get on. After you have it set up on the moving platform, you just kind of have the advantage, in my opinion. It's just so hard to constantly stay on top of it, especially if you're trying to push into it. So this is really exciting, in my opinion.
So there is actually a little bit of debate in the community about the best way to hold the moving platform. You have three options. One is to play off of it, like we see here with Divine Dead, trying to just maintain control of the rooftops that directly connect to it. NetX is going to go down. So this is the form that's working the best for Divine Dead. Some teams, however, like to do their best to knock the cash out off of the moving platform. You see this most commonly on Seoul, but it does happen on Skyway Stadium as well. You just use a couple goo grenades, but nobody's bringing goo grenades. That's not really going to be an option here today. That being said, the third and final option is going to be to hold the cash out itself. This is more prominent with double heavy teams when you have a healer and gas, but since gas mines have been taken off the medium, we have been seeing this being played less and less. So now we're going to be seeing this team fight being held off of the side of the moving platform, and No Idea is looking for their way in. They almost found it. Midnight Werewolf and Harbinger both going down to half HP, but it's still NetX that falls first every single time. And now Vrake still not even able to find an in. We see Dreams not even able to find a way in, and Divine Dead just holds this out the entire time. No Idea only has time for one more push.
Yeah, and Harbinger is just a lethal shot with that AK. You can really see him hone in and just kind of chip away the damage and nearly get every kill every time. Quite impressive to see.
Yeah, this is such a different team
Wow.
that was happening before. Look at this aim from Harbinger. It's like Harbinger doesn't even miss.
Yeah, and it's hard. I'm surprised we're not seeing the F-car. I know that there are some recent nerfs on the F-car to make the AK kind of more viable, but it's, yeah, always great to see somebody that can just chip away and use all 30 bullets and just get 36 bullets and just kind of get them all on target. Because if they can, it is just lethal. We see them immediately darting to Vault 2. I believe that they're going to get there first before No Idea can. They'll get the open, and I bet you that they set up for a defensive perimeter and see if they can just hold and take this out. Another advantage of the up, down, left, right structure is the suspended structures, which is really nice. It provides an extra layer of places to fight instead of the standard just rooftops. So it is cool to see them kind of get in a pocket on top of this little structure here.
Absolutely. The floating platforms here will make it a little bit difficult because the amount of cover that you cannot destroy is quite high compared to most other platforms that you'll see, especially compared to the hallways where just one well-placed RPG shot. But here, even if your RPG destroys the wall, there's still so much to hide behind. And the glitch grenade going to make it hard to sustain the team, but as it wears off, Midnight Werewolf will come back up to full HP. And check this out, the pad is going to work out for No Idea. They find an entry by taking out Ayaya, but he's immediately rezzed. Midnight Werewolf is going to take a little bit more damage here, but look at that, as Ayaya gets rezzed and fully back up, the heals will immediately start to come through for the team, and it's just a battle of sustain versus sustain. Who is going to be able to out-heal the damage coming towards them? It's a battle of mitigation right now. Midnight Werewolf going down to 1 HP for the third time, still able to stay up. Ayaya, though, might not stay up after this. 1 HP still somehow escapes here. Harbinger does not. Ayaya goes down, and this is going to be the end of Divine Dead, as No Idea win their first team fight here on Skyway Stadium. This is going to give them an easy opening to take Vault 2 to wherever their heart desires.
Yeah, that was a great fight. You could really see the double healing coming in handy, and they were able to just kind of switch back and forth between shooting and healing, and really played that well. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it done, but I believe that this next fight we're going to see much of the same, and hopefully they're able to take it. Now, will they cash out on the moving structure? No, it looks like they've taken it to, I believe that's a C. I can't really tell. And we see Divine Dead starting to jump over.
This cash out is on the top of the moving platform above the office building, and so this is going to be very, very difficult. Now, Harbinger, he does really rely on his mines to create space and take openings. But the thing is that there's nowhere to place the mines that you can tell where someone is going to cross through unless you can make it all the way up into the into that floating barrier to begin with. The thing is, though, once he makes it up there, going to be getting shot at, so it might be better to have the gun out. So this is going to take away a little bit of key utility for this team, but as Divine Dead start to make this push, they are unaware that No Idea is just holding on to the other side, and Harbinger goes down, and that Werewolf as well going to go down. They are going to be able to get one res here, and the re-res, so much sustain. That was a dream, goes out, and it looks like No Idea is unable to get the revive. So we are going to be seeing a one-man disadvantage here for Team No Idea as Divine Dead tries to make their way in. The steal is going to start. Will it come through? It does. Now No Idea needs to find their way in because this is it. If No Idea cannot reclaim this, that's going to be a win for Divine Dead, and No Idea is going to have to come back in the next one. See now, Harbinger, look at that damage, insane damage output. This man does not miss even while he's going all the way across. Look at that tracking.
Stop the steal.
The steal does end up being stopped. No Idea gets wiped, and that's going to be the game here. Divine Dead 2 to No Idea 1, and that is going to be a 2-0 win on this last map here as well. Divine Dead come through in the lower bracket. Such a hype final matchup here. Divine Dead looking so just like struggling and weak in the first map, and then coming through to do this on map 3. Yep. It's like they didn't even warm up. This was their warm up, Rio.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, and I really think it comes down to Harbinger because he was just knocking him out with that AK. Every time we were watching him just shoot, it was just like a laser beam, and it really made the enemy team just struggle. So I think that was just some great play, and then they had the double healing coming in, and really just able to pocket it and switch back and forth, and really overall great gameplay.
Absolutely, and you know, this is a little bit unfortunate for Team No Idea. As we said before, Mr. Derp did have to swap off. He's unable to get on today, so that's why we had NetX. But now it's going to be a little bit of an argument in those Discord DMs between Derp and NetX, because now Derp has to still come back on next time for qualifier number 4 if he wants a chance in. But anyway, we do have some more matches coming up. We're going to get that bracket set up for you, and we will be back with some more intense finals gameplay right after this break. Love seeing the dematerializer being used like this. And there we go. Insane bit of damage going through on the NetX. And it's not looking good. Harbinger's team is going to be the ones to lose one first as Ayaya goes down. Play because he sent one of the members of No Idea down into the other floor without. But No Idea, they're able to find an entry. Look at that. NetX comes right through, but oh, close though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just a few more seconds earlier there.
That is being deleted immediately in a good showing from Divine Dead as things open up pretty strongly for them. A full team wipe without losing a single member. Divine Dead.
They got Vrak down.
And there's NetX going down as well. That means Divine Dead should have a good... is forced to back off of it. They find an opening there, and they are going to be able to take out one, but no, it is Divine Dead that comes out on top. And No Idea, it was just for the third time, still able to stay up. Ayaya, though, might not stay up after this 1 HP still. So this is going to take away a little bit of key utility for this team. But as Divine Dead start to make this push, they are unaware that No Idea is just holding on to the other side. Harbinger goes down. And that Werewolf as well going to go down. Insane damage output. This man does not miss even while he's going all the way across. Look at that tracking.
Stop the steal.
The steal does end up being